American Penguin paperbacks. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this time we're going to do quite a long video on the Penguin books that were published in the United States. Originally, Alan Lane started Penguin Books in 1935 in England, and it's very popular. And he had a guy named Ian Valentine that worked for him, and he had tasked Ian with bringing Penguin Books to the United States to sell them during the pre and during World War II. Ian brought the British Penguins and sold them here in the United States, and then published other Penguin books continuing the series. Now Ian had a better idea about how to sell and promote marketing paperbacks, because he wanted to put cover art on them, and he did. And for many years they had different cover art. They had Robert Jonas doing covers and other people, and they're quite nice books. But Alan Lane didn't like the fact that Ian was doing covers on Penguins. He wanted them to be strictly to the color format and the type that he had on the early Penguins. That continued into the 50s, and eventually Penguin did use cover art, and of course now they're like every other publisher. The early Penguins, these early Penguins, they're in the 500 and 600 series. They're from 1940, usually about 44 to 46, and there were earlier ones that were shorter size. These are the tall size, and they're Penguins, and then later on, a few years later, they would become Penguin Signet, and then after a short time, they would become Signet books published by New American Library. And Ian Valentine would go to Bantam Books, and that would change the whole course of the publishing of Penguin Signets in the United States and Bantam Books. Excuse me. So I'm just going to show you, in no particular order, a whole bunch of really nice, interesting Penguin vintage paperbacks. And I'm going to, as you can see, the spines are quite colorful. Excuse me. I'm going to take some of these out of the way. They're heavy too. They were printed on quality paper, and so they look quite nice, and they were sturdy. We're just going to start off just with the numbers. The 646 Journeyman by Erskine Caldwell. They all had the same kind of format. American Beauty by Edna Ferber, 650. Again, no particular order. 603 James Farrell, short stories. Pretty much the same kind of design. They had the penguin on the front, at the top, Penguin Books on the bottom, and then they had the artwork. Some of these were by Robert Jonas, who I knew quite well. He was a good friend, and he lived in Brooklyn. 601 is Jurgen by James Branch Cabell, a fantasy novel. 652 is the new quiz book. 538 is The Laughing Fox by Frank Gruber, crime novel. And let me show you the back covers of these. Back covers were also pretty much the same. Here you have the Penguin logo, and then you have the 25-cent price, which a lot of them didn't have prices early on, and often they had the photo of the author, Cabell, and Frank Gruber, and others. Let me turn these around just to show you, give you an idea. Erskine Caldwell, Edna Ferber, and James C. Farrell. And the same kind of design that they had on these books. Next one is 575, The Cask by Freeman Willis Crofts. Now, The next video is going to have a look at the special and very rare penguin dust jackets. And one of them is of the cask, and there's 6 of them, and we'll look at all of those in the next video. But this video, we're just going to do the regular penguin books. Number 639, So Big, Edna Ferber. Now this is number 60. This is a penguin military book, The Dark Invader. Lady Chatterley's Lover is 610, D.H. Lawrence. Erskine Caldwell, God Little Acre, by number 581. And again, this is with the Jonas cover, and he did a lot of this kind of design where you look through a hole in the fence or a peephole cover, and so this was like a popular design for books in the 40s, and also even Dell would use it for their logo. Penguin 612, Christianity on the Stand. So they had a lot of non-fiction books in the series. This is a later book that actually doesn't belong here. In these early ones, this is a Greek tragedy. And this is number 508. This is one of the earliest of the American penguins, Walden, by Thoreau. And you can see the big penguin there. And the little bit of artwork, like a woodcut kind of Rockwell Kentish kind of art. 609 is St. Joan, George Bernard Shaw. Looking for a Bluebird, 622. 503, crime novel, Death of a Ghost, by Marjorie Allingham. Number 585, Winesburg, Ohio, Sherwood Anderson. Number 605, Cimarron, by Edna Ferber. The Penguin Special on Politics, 593. The Voter's Guide, they told you how to vote. Mildred Pierce, by James M. Cain, is number 591. And this is, you can see that now how it's becoming a little bit in the style of signet books, and eventually a few months later it would be, at this time, there would be Penguin signet books, and then they would become signet books. But there's still Penguin at that time. This is 615, Lady into a Fox, David Garnett. Another Edna Ferber, 617, Saratoga Trunk. The New Veteran, this is a Penguin Special, 602. The Tyranny of Sex, 649. Young Lonergan by James T. Farrell, 643. Cartoons by Steinberg. This is 640. It's a book of cartoons. Early book of cartoons. 633, Edna Ferber, Great Son. Dorothy Baker Trio, number 604. And it's covered by Robert Jonas, and you can see his signature over here. O. Henry, Cabbage and Kings, 595. Backstreet by Fannie Hurst, 589. It's a big, thick one. And Tobacco Road by Erskine Caldwell, 627. And again, that kind of see-through image. 611, Marco Polo. There's quite a lot to go through, but I think you'll enjoy seeing some of these. Some of these you've probably never seen before. Some of them I've never seen before. 636, The Voice of Bugle Ann. Another edition of the Tyranny of Sex, 649, with a different cover. Number 644, Thomas Wolfe, Short Stories. Number 631, A Funeral in Eden, by Paul McGuire. Number 584, Dead Reckoning by Francis Bonamy. Number 608, Major Barber by Shaw. Number 614, The Penguin Hoyle card game book. Everything you need to know about playing cards. 657, Desire Me by Leonhard Frank. This is number 339, Penguin Books, High Rising, Angela Thurkel. It's an early one. Number 621, Serenade by James M. Cain. And this is the second printing of that book. And see, probably they're identical on the back, but with a slight change. I don't know if this is faded. I don't think so. I think it was, they made the second printing in orange and the first printing was red. The Odyssey by Homer is 613. Song of the Whip by Evan Evans, Western, 645. Montana Rides Again, 620, Evan Evans again. This is a great book. This is Tombstone by Walter Noble Burns. It's 514 in both versions. So this is the earlier version with this line drawing cover art, and then the painted cover art. It's a great Western history of Tombstone. And Walter Noble Burns continued. He did another book, number 520, Saga of Billy the Kid. And these are all great books. And you can see some of the early penguins, with the prominent penguin here, did have some artwork. And this was Valentine using, allowing them to use artwork. And then they went from art to paintings. But some of the early ones have this kind of art, and those are quite nice. We'll see some of those later on. Great Murder Stories is 655 by various mystery writers. True Murder Cases by Alan Hine, 641. And Trent's Own Case by E.C. Bentley, number 510, very early one. I want to move these up. Let me move them over here. There. And we'll start on another group, number 586, The Rasp by Philip MacDonald. Number 503, these are the really early ones, The Death of a Ghost by Marjorie Allingham. And see, this doesn't have any artwork. And later, soon afterwards, they would have some artwork here, like this style. It's the same kind of style almost, but they decided to put some artwork on there. And it's like becoming, it was being brought into the series. This is 621, Serenade by James M. Cain. I've never seen that book before, that edition. 648, Deadly Weapon by Wade Miller. 567, Trouble in July by Erskine Caldwell. That's another Jonas cover. That's the Jonas cover. The Lovely Lady by D.H. Lawrence, 576. Pal Joey by John O'Hara, 580. Daisy Miller by Henry James, 625. Number 324, The Velvet Well by John Guerin. Lady Chatterley's Lover, this is second printing, 610 by D.H. Lawrence. Pearl Buck's The Mother, this is number 505. Another early one, Pearl Buck. Another edition of the Penguin Hoyle, 614, the earlier one. 607, Pygmalion by Bernard Shaw. And number 598, Put Out the Light by Ethel Lina White. And we'll go through, take more. Rope of Sand, a Mystery by Francis Bonhomie. Somerset Maugham, Summing Up, 597. A great read. This is a great read about his life and just his philosophy of life. Terrific, interesting book. Interesting fellow. Classic crime novel, spy novel, The Ministry of Fear by Graham Greene, number 530. Very cool book. Number 599, Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck. Number 618, The Perennial Border by Phoebe Atwood Taylor. And here it's listed as a Penguin mystery. Christ Stopped at Eboli. This is number 656. Bemelin's Hotel Splendide, 637. Showboat by Edna Ferber is 653. Richard Wright, Uncle Tom's Children, Jonas Cover, 647. Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. This is number 528. Very early one. A little bit of an illustration. They kind of squeezed it in with the text. Earlier edition of Mildred Pierce by James M. Cain, number 591. Number 574, A Passage to India by E.M. Forster. And number 583, Vein of Iron by Ellen Glasgow. The Turning Wheels by Stuart Collette, number 573. I think this is a Western or an exploration book. Out of This World, edited by Julius Fast. This is number 537. This is one of the first science fiction fantasy books. It's the only one in the Penguin series that's early like this, and it's got a lot of good authors in it. Originally, the first printing is a short edition, and then this is the reprint with the larger size. So the shorter editions I showed in the previous video a while back. Maybe I'll run that again, but the short editions came out before the tall size ones, but they're all of the very early 40s. This is The Unbearable Bassington by Saki, 634. Purple Onion Mystery by Ashbrook, 626. Thunder on the Left by Christopher Morley, 582. Martin Eden by Jack London, 587. Another Mildred Pierce, 591 by James M. Cain. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, 596 by McCullers. That's Jonas Cover. Manhattan Transfer by John Dos Passos, 577. Another Jonas Cover. The Unvanquished by Howard Fast, 588. Then you have some of these early ones. This is 512. The Strange Case of Annie Spragg by Louis Bromfield. And again, they had this kind of artwork, this drawings in there. And I like these. They're pretty cool. They have a certain charm to them. Number 629, The King is Dead on Queen Street by Francis Bonhomie. Another Penguin mystery. Lady Chatterley's Lover by Lawrence, number 610. The 11 of Diamonds by Maynard Kendrick, mystery novel, 616. Portrait of Jenny by Nathan, 638. Mother Wore Tights by Miriam Young, number 630, I think that number, if I can read it properly. Sanctuary by William Faulkner, 632. And Almayer's Folly by Joseph Conrad, 619. And now I'm going to move these out of the way. Is that good? Let's see if we have room. And I'm going to take up the last pile. These are heavy. They use quality paper. It's not like the pulp paperbacks that we see, that we know of in the 50s. These are the 40s, and they, like the pocketbooks and Penguins, they did quality books. So this is 639, So Big by Edna Ferber. Another Jonas cover. 661, Erskine Caldwell, Tragic Ground. Another Jonas cover. William Faulkner, Sanctuary, 632. There's a trio of Jonas covers. Now we're going to have some with the illustrated ones, the earlier ones. This is 502. Pygmalion by Bernard Shaw, or Bernard Shaw. Two Survived by Guy Pearce Jones, which is number 506. So here again, you can see just in a couple of numbers difference in the books from in the early 500 series. They had type and then they used illustration. So they were moving toward illustration little by little. The Wild Palms by William Faulkner, 659. That's Pelican. Number 516, Genghis Khan by Harold Lamb. Number 521, The Oxbow Incident by Walter Van Tilburg Clark. The Good Soldier Schwerk by Hassick is number 572. Heavenly Discourse by Wood is 594. Bread and Wine by Ignacio Salon is 578. Orlando by Virginia Woolf is 590. Malice in Wonderland by Nicholas Blake is 592, mystery. Market for Murder by Frank Gruber is 651, another mystery. This is 2 editions, second and first, of Kiss of Death by Elazar Lipsky, number 642, hard-boiled crime novel. That's 642. And this is 642 movie edition, and it has up here movie edition, 20 cents. So it's a different printing, it's a second printing. This is Blood on Lake Louisa, 635 by Kendrick. Silver Jackass, number 623 by Frank Gruber. Gruber's a good, his westerns and his mystery novels are really, really good. Number 545 is The Talking Clock by Frank Gruber. Number 579 is The Patience of Margaret by Simenon. And here's some of the ones with the illustrated art line drawings. This is number 513, The Catalyst Club by George Dyer. They're all pretty much mysteries or suspense, these here. The Middle Temple Murder by Fletcher, and that's number 518. It's The Case of the Late Pig by Marjorie Allingham, number 276. I don't know why they must have started from they probably started from the 3s, the 2 or 300 series, and then they went to the 5s. I think that's what they did. So these are the earliest ones. And the short size ones were in the 2 and 300 series, and they had these kind of cover art. And then they went from there to 2 and 3s, they started off at 500 and had a different look to them. And this is number 504. All Concerned Notified by Helen Riley. These are really, really nice. And these are tough to find. Tough to find in nice condition or even any condition. Penguin Mystery. This is number 501. Murder by an Aristocrat by Mignon Eberhardt. This is number 509. The Pastures of Heaven by John Steinbeck. So you can see there, all the mysteries are green, and then you have a Steinbeck, which is a novel, is red. So they kept the green penguin, the British green, for mystery and crime novels. This is number 524, Pencil Points to Murder by Shabalins. And this is another one, better edition of that. A Blunt Instrument by Georgette Heyer. This is 519. And a couple of Westerns. This is, now we're back in the 600s again. This is 654, Great Western Stories. And number 600, Montana Rides by Evan Evans. And there you have a look, out of order, but I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these, and maybe you've seen some penguins that you've never seen before. Really cool book, a group of early penguin books from the early to middle 1940s, from probably 42 to 46, before they became Penguin and Signet, and then Signet Books from the New American Library. And in this series, there are also 6 rare dust jackets, which we're going to take a look at in the next video in a few days. So hope you enjoyed this look at Penguin early paperbacks. And if you did, U.S. Penguins. And if you did, give us a thumbs up and spread the word, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.